Evan Smethers. This is my van Eddie. He's a 2005 Mercedes Sprinter, low roof. And I've been living out of him now for about 4 or 5 months. We'll go inside and take a look. So this is my kitchen layout. So in my kitchen I just have a nice little sink. It's actually quite a big sink with the little pump faucet, which is really nice just because then I don't have to run too much battery stuff. It's just all hand pumped. Down here I have my dirty water supply and my fresh water, and just like random miscellaneous stuff, so like my moisturizers, candles. Candles I find have been essential in the van just because living in a small space, it's easy to start stinking here, so having the candles super handy. Down here I have my fridge. So my fridge, like my eggs, I got some pickles in there, butter, fruits, jams, one of those cigarette lighter ones. So that just plugs right into the Goal Zero back here. Under here I just have all my cutlery storage, so pots and pans, knives, cups, that kind of stuff. And it's all on the slow close, which I don't know, I just like it. It's very like aesthetically pleasing. And then up here I have, so everything's just on these nice little latches, which makes it really handy to when I'm driving. Everything doesn't fly around. So yeah, and here I just have, like, it's pretty messy right now, but I just have like coffee stuff, some creatine, my headphones, had a French press, it's shattered, beer stuff, propane, more camera stuff, Rubbermaids. And then just down here is actually where I keep all my food supply. So I have, one of the questions I get asked a lot actually with living in a van is like dietary questions. And so I've found it most efficient to have like canned soup, just because you can store a ton of it, and if you're out in the boonies, it's just a lot easier to cook a canned soup than to like prep a whole meal. And yeah, and then I just have all my toiletry stuff here, so that's just nice and handy to just grab when I need to. And then shoes, I have a lot of shoes, so it's nice to have a little spot for them. So I just have a little Rubbermaid container that I just throw all my shoes into. Just keeps it all kind of organized. And then blackout curtains that come across when I'm going to sleep, and then just Velcro to the side just to keep it all dark in here. I just have my bed, so it's on like a 4-inch memory foam, so it's super comfy. Then just one of these Hudson's Bay blankets is really warm with a nice like duvet underneath it. So that's my sleeping situation. And then just back up here I have all my clothes storage. So I got t-shirts here, t-shirts, pants, underwear and socks, and then a ton of hoodies. It's all pretty messy under there, but has just all my stuff. And then the Goal Zero, the whole kind of heart of the van is there. Here is kind of the garage of the van. So it's where I keep basically all my outdoorsy kind of things, tools, some fishing equipment, stuff like that. Got some diving gear. I have my bike under here. I have a surfboard under here. Tons and tons of storage. It goes all the way back. So it just has like a table. So the bed frame is built right into the walls. So it's just a whole bunch of 2x4s that go all the way across, and then 2 more pieces that come here, and that's just bolted right into the van, which makes it super secure. So that's probably the sturdiest thing in my van, definitely the bed frame. Solar, I just have one panel mounted just far back here, so it's a 100-watt solar panel. It's been able to power my van pretty well. Yeah, I haven't had any issues with not getting power. Some days when it's cloudy like this, I'll just run the van and charge right off my alternator, which best way to do it, I guess, when there's no sun. I installed the roof vent, which actually was my first project of the van. It was probably the scariest thing, because I had to cut into the roof, and that was like a big thing. If I would have messed that up, kind of ruined. So yeah, so it's just one of the typical fantastic fan vents. So it just pops up and then just runs off the Goal Zero. Just plug it in and turn it on, and it's runs pretty quiet, which is really nice. So I run that whenever I'm cooking, and I just have like a lot of smells in the van. I'll use this, and then just, yeah, because I cook with propane, so it's best to have a well ventilated van. And then all behind my walls, I have it all insulated. So I have 1.5 inch like rigid foam behind each of these walls, and then spray foam down by the bottoms. Humidity wise and condensation, I just run my dehumidifier here, which is just one of those easy dries or Eva dries. So it just kind of sits there. It's super handy because it doesn't use any power. You just leave it like that and then just plug it in every 30 days and let it heat up again. And it's nice because it has these little kind of directors, like when it's wet it will go green, when it's dry it will go yellow. I use an electric dehumidifier, this Pro Breeze, which I'll plug in once in a while, and that just really dries out the whole van. And then heat wise, I actually run a buddy heater. It's just in the back right now when it's really cold. Usually right before I go to sleep I have the van running anyways because I'm going to find a parking spot, so it stays decently warm in here. I've never had to run my buddy heater too often. So initially when I first bought the van, it was a flooring van, so they had nothing inside it, just a really terribly built shelf, upper shelf, just for I guess his flooring stuff. So it was really nice because I got to be able to envision what I wanted because I could plan out everything I had. And initially I was rocking for a little while. I just had a little like cabinet I found on the side of the road, and I had that just put right there with my fridge in it and my water supply, and that's like my initial setup. And then once I got the cabinets in, it made a huge difference just having like this full kitchen, like basically. And when I'm cooking and stuff, I can even fold the bed back like this, and that gives me kind of this L-shaped kitchen. So I have this as a prep area and then all the way along, so it's a huge cooking space. And that's kind of like one of the ideas I had when I was building this van, was I kind of wanted that huge, like I wanted more storage and a bigger prep space. So this platform bed design kind of allowed me to have like all that storage underneath, still have a huge bed, and still like able to have a huge kitchen. And it just kind of like made more sense in this layout for me, at least. So I kind of chose to live in a van mostly just to have that ability to be wherever I want. And I've always been a very adventurous person, and just kind of having that ability to be like, okay, I'm just gonna pick up and leave and just be able to travel all the time has been huge for me. I've also been, I'm a university student just taking a year off, and I've kind of decided to have that ability to like minimalize my lifestyle and like minimalize to maximize, I kind of think about. So it's just kind of like having that smaller space, less things to worry about, and yeah, as I say, like I surf and downhill bike, so being able to park my van right where I'm going to be doing these activities is essential. Solo traveling is like, in a van, a lot of people are kind of like, oh, do you get lonely and everything, but I've noticed one of the big things is with van life, there's a big van community at least, and I've never had any issues with not meeting people. So it's really nice because it's like a tight knit, everybody's kind of like similar beliefs and everything. Initially, as I say, I was like traveling in a Honda Odyssey for a little while. I just had a simple Odyssey with a mattress in the back, and I'd go on little weekend trips and hang out with the boys and just travel around like that. And then one of my buddies, actually two of my buddies, are living in vans in Canmore, and I stayed with them for a week out in their vans and just kind of saw their lifestyle and how they were living and like their van setups, and it got me hooked. I was hooked after that, and 2 weeks later I bought the van and just kind of started the build right away and finished the build in 3 months, which was quicker than I thought it was going to take, and definitely like it's a labor of love for sure. So there's a lot of things that trial and error, I guess, was the main thing for me building a lot of those things, just because I've never built anything and I've never really been a carpenter. So it was definitely a lot of trial and error, and just, I don't know, I think the build part of van life is also like a very big thing because it kind of shows you what you're capable of. And so it's very rewarding to be able to live in a van and also be able to say, oh yeah, like this is something I built, this is something that I know exactly how everything works in it, kind of thing. Initially I was looking at one of the old Dodge Trades vans or something like that, just that was the typical kind of van life van. But I feel like the Sprinter's just been romanticized so much in the van communities, and it's kind of like that peak van, and I just kind of like the idea of that it's quite spacious. Like I have the low roof van and I can't quite stand up in it, but it's still like quite spacious, and I can have everything in it, and I just really like that it's a diesel. I think that's the main thing for me, is having the diesel engine, and the mileage I get in a diesel has been one of my main main desires for sure in a van. Yeah, I definitely would recommend this lifestyle. It definitely isn't for everyone. I've noticed there's some people who would kind of need like the necessity of having a shower constantly. Like, I mean, van life is amazing, but there definitely is the downfalls. You're using public bathrooms. I don't know, like some people, I guess, if you can't really use a public bathroom, if you're scared of that kind of stuff, or I mean, there's times you pee in a bottle, that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, I definitely would recommend it for people who just want to like experience life and kind of live closer to the outdoors in a way. Like, you're more involved in the places you are because you're in the smallest place. There's a lot less, you hear a lot more going around you. So definitely somebody who's more adventurous, or just kind of wants to minimalize and just kind of live more simple, but also like have an amazing life. Like, you can have a very, very amazing life just with the simplest things. I was always been interested in minimalism, mostly just because, yeah, like I've noticed I used to have like my bedroom and everything in a house and had a ton of stuff, and it was just kind of like a stressful kind of, you had a ton of things everywhere, not too sure exactly where everything was, so it kind of made things more stressful. And I've just noticed living more minimal, just less things to worry about, and it's always been something I've been interested in. I've always been interested in like tiny homes, container homes and that kind of stuff. So like a van lifestyle just kind of made sense to me, that this is like a small home but a big life in a way. I work as a traffic engineer, road construction in Calgary. So that's a seasonal job. So I just work from April to October-ish. So that gives me the rest of the year to travel. I used to be going to school, so I'd be at school. But yeah, so that job is able to kind of save enough money to afford to live the rest of the year traveling and just having fun, I guess. Definitely the first benefit, which I believe everybody would agree with, is zero rent. Like, I guess if you really wanted to figure out the rent cost of a van, it would be your insurance, monthly insurance, and gas prices. That's definitely the main benefit that I've found. Another benefit is just being able to be wherever you want to be. So like, let's say you want to be in Mexico, like, I mean, you could just drive down to Mexico. It's just like super efficient way of traveling, just because you're taking your whole home. Like, I imagine it kind of like a tortoise. Like, you can just be where you want to be, and you're just living like that. So I guess that's a main benefit, is just being able to, yeah, pick up and go, and be where you want to be. If you want a day of surfing, you can go to the beach, surf. If you want some biking, you can hit the mountains and go biking. So that's my big benefit. One big challenge I've noticed, especially when you're traveling, is initially when you get to certain towns and cities or passing through, there's always that uneasiness. You kind of think like, okay, where am I going to park? Where's the bathrooms? Like, where can I shower? That kind of stuff. Like, that's the initial thought for me, at least, is when I'm entering new cities or entering new towns. That's kind of my biggest problems I have, is that just kind of trying to figure out, like, get oriented. If it's really, really rainy out and I'm just like cooped up in the van, it's kind of hard just in the tight spot. Like, I'll read or I'll watch Netflix or write or something like that. So there's other things to like occupy myself. But yeah, I guess that'd be a challenge. If you've been thinking about it for a long time, yeah, I would say just go for it. There's nothing that really can go wrong. I mean, if you decide you don't like that lifestyle, you can sell the van, or just, yeah, exactly. Like, it's just kind of like, just do it, I guess. I really believe in just like, yeah, this like minimalize to maximize, and just like, if you're not having fun doing what you're doing, like, why bother doing it? Like, life's not the longest thing in the world. Like, you're not gonna live forever, so might as well enjoy. And that could be job, it could be travel. Like, I guess just try to find something that you enjoy and put your time into that. Avoid just like negative stuff, and just kind of focus on what will make you a better person and just like what you enjoy to do. And yeah, with I guess this lifestyle, it really fits it, because you can focus on building a job, like marketing, or like social media is a huge deal now, so you can have a job where you are making money from videos, Instagram, that kind of thing, and still living the lifestyle you really want to live.
Where can people find you if they want to follow your journey?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram, Evan Smethurst. So that's my Instagram. I'm gonna start posting a lot more of my van. I haven't been posting too much lately, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna be posting a lot more of my van. And yeah, so you can follow my journey kind of on Instagram, is my main hub.